This week on the Stampede, the Mustangs look to rebound after a setback against Navy.
Everybody wanted to win the game, and it was a hard loss for the whole team.
The men who protect the Mustangs on game day and beyond.
To do this job is definitely something that you have to love.
And the Ponies head south with an upset in their sights. Monday morning, the SMU Mustangs returned to Ford Stadium with heavy hearts.
Everybody wanted to win the game, and it was a hard loss for the whole team and everything because Gans really wanted it, and we felt like it was our job to get the victory for him.
Get it in, let's go!
Last week was pretty tough to swallow. We haven't beat Navy ever since I've been here, ever since we started playing them. And we were also playing, for Coach Gans, passed away a couple years ago, and his son. So it was, especially after the game, that was really tough, and then Sunday.
Really, in college, you just gotta, like we say when on the field, you gotta just want to snap it clear because it's a new week, and if you're just thinking about last week, you're not gonna be prepared for this week, which is a bigger game in some sense because it's our next game. So just trying to think about Houston, and the past is a past, can't do anything about it.
The team is just under 48 hours removed from a disappointing loss to the triple option attack of the Navy midshipmen.
Having a chance to score, not being able to capitalize on, the other team's mistake. That's one thing we're always talking about, scoring with field position. That's pretty much what it came down to. What we said we were going to do and what we did wasn't the same. So we have to get back to, preaching and actually doing what we said we're going to do on the field.
Navy took the lead early with an unrelenting run attack. They ran to the port.
And he keeps it up over the 15 to the 20-yard line.
To the starboard.
Safety, they pitch it. Big hole over the right side.
And even up the middle.
It's 6, inside the 5, and they'll mark them down at about the 1-foot line.
With passes as rare as a seaman in the Sahara, 2 were thrown, none were completed. The attack was just good enough to allow Navy to squeak through with a 7-point win.
It's a strategy on their part because they don't have the guys to play against us, so they do the triple option. So
this was SMU's 3rd straight loss to Navy, the 3rd straight time the Gans Trophy was claimed by the midshipmen. SMU seniors are the last class that were coached by the trophy's namesake, special teams coach Frank Gans. Their disappointment is palpable. Still, there were moments to remember. Zach Line continued his dominance on the ground. The 6'1", 230-pound junior linebacker turned running back continued to move the chains for the Mustangs, racking up 135 yards. It was the Michigan native's 8th 100-yard game, making him number 1 in rushing in Conference USA and 6th in the entire country, averaging 122 yards a game. Cole Beasley, the 5'9", 177-pound senior receiver from Little Elm, Texas, continued to show the talent and toughness that makes him the team's 2nd leading receiver with 812 yards so far this year.
And McDermott looks to his left, and he's going to find it in a seam. Cole Beasley, touchdown SMU!
He scored the team's only 2 touchdowns, the second on a nifty run out of the Wildcat formation.
Back to the left of Cole Beasley. And they're going to run a left run for Cole Beasley. Touchdown SMU. The Wildcat pays off, and the Ponies pull it down to a 1-score game.
The first points of the game were scored by kicker Chase Hover. Chase's SMU career had a more unusual origin than most. He's on the team in large part because his dad reads the newspaper.
Happened to see Kate's article in the paper where it talked about the kicking game was an area of concern this year. I just saw that as an opportunity.
The story spoke of SMU's need for a kicker, and Chase, who was kicking at Blinn College, felt he'd be a good fit.
My dad read an article on the computer that SMU kickers were, struggling a little bit. I thought, yeah, it's my chance. It's my hometown. I felt like I could come in and maybe earn a starting spot.
Chase was a walk-on and made an immediate impression on the coaches. Just a few days later, Chase was walking the field in front of 90,000 fans for SMU's first game against Texas A&M at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. Since then, Chase has started every game.
Over's kick is good. SMU on the scoreboard with 7:59 to play.
Racking up 58 points and 8 field goals, including a long of 34 yards against TCU. And because he joined the team so late, Chase was unable to secure a campus dorm room. This makes him another rarity on the team, a player who lives at home and commutes to practice and school.
We did this like 2 days before school started, so dorms were filled, apartments were filled. There wasn't any on-campus living for him, so hopefully that'll change in the spring. Of course, we don't mind him being at home.
All eyes are on this week's opponent, the undefeated and heavily favored Houston Cougars. Houston is ranked number 11. Their quarterback, Case Keenum, has rewritten the NCAA record book and will be a serious contender for the Heisman Trophy. It looks like a daunting task for the Mustangs, but they believe they can spring the upset.
Really, we just want to start off real quick and then just keep it going and keep the momentum going throughout the game. We've never really put a full game together, and we really want to do that this time. We have to do that.
Really, they just have a nice, polished offense. They are 6-year senior quarterbacks, so usually your offense runs as well as your quarterback is, and they pretty much picture perfect with him because they keep the ball moving, and he picks up everything real fast, so it's not really a problem for him to read defenses.
After all, this isn't the first rodeo for the Mustangs. They beat 20th-ranked TCU in Fort Worth earlier in the season.
Touchdown, SMU! At the 17, and SMU stop, and they win it in OT. Paul Hall looks to his right. SMU wins it! 40-33 in overtime!
June Jones' offense is still looking to explode. And against the Cougars, they'll need every point they can get.
To be honest with you, however we can get the victories, however we get, it can be 80-81 as long as we win, you know. I mean, or it can be a 7-10 game. I mean, however we get the victory, that's the most important part is just winning. Who cares about the score?
It's a pretty big game Saturday.
Football. A game where modern-day gladiators don their armor, enter into battle, and compete for 60 minutes to bring home victory. But behind these highly trained athletes is a group of loyal assistants who, invisible to most, serve as the engine that makes the team run on game day. One of the most important teams within the team is the equipment staff.
In a nutshell, I am a purchasing agent that purchases all the equipment and apparel necessary to outfit all the 19 intercollegiate sports here at SMU. My big emphasis is football, and I purchase all the helmets, shoulder pads, shoes, everything that Adidas supplies us with. It's an enormous responsibility. We also do the maintenance of it, the distribution of it. So sizing on each one of the athletes is an important feature as well.
When a shoulder pad is broken, a jersey needs mending, or a cleat must be repaired, the equipment team is there to keep the players on the field and focused on the task at hand. But that's not all.
Mainly what I do is we practice, we set up practice in the mornings, we break practice down after practice, we do the laundry, we clean helmets, we stripe and decal them, we put the prize stickers on, we load the truck, unload the truck, you know, just everything that everybody don't see, that's, you know, we do all of that.
It starts with weekly practice sessions, where equipment managers are up before dawn to prepare the day.
A couple of guys that get here at 5:30 a.m. I'm here by 6. We're on the field by 7. We're off the field at 9. We got my guys doing the laundry. They usually get done by 12 noon. then it starts all over again. We got guys that start showing up to lift weights, and then when they get ready to go into 4 o'clock meeting, we have that complete set of laundry all over again that Scott will run through the washer and dryer and put back out for 5:30 in the morning when the players start getting here again tomorrow morning.
Before anybody gets here, we set up the field, we take down the field. We're the first people to show up and last to leave.
Then on game day, the equipment staff takes on even more important roles.
We show up 5 hours before the game on game day, and we make sure that we set up everything all the way down to every little detail. We have to adhere to the coaches as well, because the coaches like the benches on the sideline set up a certain way. A lot of coaches like different type of clothing, so we provide all that.
I got guys that are taking notes for the defensive coordinator, helping the offensive coordinator. I got another guy that's on a headset that hears everything that goes on. For all I know, he might be calling the plays. I have no idea. But then myself, I'm just looking for any type of hardware breakdown. 90% of the time it's going to be a shoulder pad. Occasionally you'll get a rip in the jersey, and believe it or not, I know how to hand sew, and I can go sew a jersey in minutes.
When the team goes on the road, it presents a whole new challenge.
You have to make sure you have everything. You know, when we're loading the truck, we're packing our different trunks. You got to make sure you have everything, because when you're on the road, it's harder to get to something compared to when we're at home.
I put all the jerseys and pants together of the traveling party. I also got the coaches, the apparel that you see the coaches wear on the sideline. I put that all together, put it in the trunk. We packed those trunks already, and they're already on a truck ready to go.
I always triple check everything because I don't want to be the guy to let the team down. We have a checklist, and we go over the checklist, and our equipment manager, our head equipment manager, really burns that into us, not to make mistakes, you know, to minimize any type of mistake there is.
And the close proximity to the team gives them an insight into the players no one else sees.
So my point to you is get about like that, like you're going to run the edge on him. Okay, then take a jab step and come inside, or you can go from right there and hit it.
Football teams are made up of a huge mix of personalities and tastes, all of whom pass through the equipment room.
Well, as any parent would know, every one of your children's different. Well, I got about 120 of them and 120 guys going in 120 different directions. Everybody is a different personality, and one thing that I learned from Tony Dungy years ago, Tony Dungy said, everybody is treated differently under the same umbrella of rules. And that's basically, that's the way they're treated.
But what drives this staff more than anything is the love of the game and seeing their team be the best they can be.
It's a work of love. It's a labor of love. If you don't love it and you don't have a passion for it, then you know what? You're in the wrong business, because you're going to spend a lot of time here. And you're going to deal with a lot of different personalities.
Everybody will have the opportunity to work with a June Jones and a Phil Bennett and all the other coaches I work with. So it's just an honor just to be able to work with these coaches and learn from them and be able to apply to what I hope to do myself.
To do this job is definitely something that you have to love. You have to absolutely love football.
Today's numbers added in.
Announcer Rich Phillips has seen it all in his 10 years in the Mustangs broadcast booth. We talked to Rich this week to get his perspective on the 2011 Ponies. First, what young players have caught your eye this year?
Well, you know, one thing that was real encouraging, I think, this season with some of the young guys is a few weeks ago there were 3 starters out hurt. And June told me the 3 guys that were going to start in place of them. I thought, okay, fine. In the past, that wasn't necessarily the case, but when you looked at a guy like Justin Sorrell, who started at safety and started for a couple of weeks, total confidence of what he can do. And then Stephon Sanders, who's moved in to start at outside linebacker, I think that's one of the bright and upcoming stars they may have around here. And then a guy that's playing every week right now, but we never really saw last year, is Kenneth Acker at right corner, and I think he has moved seamlessly into that starting lineup this year, and he's only a sophomore, has started every game, and he'll be the veteran guy in that secondary group, one of the veteran guys in that secondary group next year. So I really think there's a lot of promising young players still on this team. You know, offensively, they look like they have as much talent as wide receiver as they've had since June got here. You got Jeremy Johnson, who's been mixed in from time to time, and of course Derek Thompson, who's emerged into a starting role. And And there were a lot of concerns over the last 2 years. You've lost 2 guys to the NFL draft off that receiving corps, but it looks like they're finding guys that maybe could be the next ones they lose to the NFL draft in a few years.
What are your thoughts about SMU's place in conference realignment?
Yeah, I think any chance to get into another league that has that automatic qualifier status in the BCS, that's the ultimate goal, whatever league it may be. The good news is that at the start of this season, SMU wasn't really being approached by any of those leagues. SMU started approaching those leagues. Well, now those leagues are coming to SMU now, and some of them are starting to talk and maybe officially extend an invite at some point soon. So I think that's really changed the profile for the university, that they're starting to get talked to by those BCS leagues. And obviously, it could mean huge things for the program when you get into a league of that caliber and you're talking lots more money that's going to be involved in a league like that.
What are your thoughts on this week's battle against Houston?
Well, I think the guys are really looking forward to a chance at Houston because they know the nation's watching these guys. They're sitting at 11th in the BCS. Game day is coming to the game beforehand for the first time ever, and it's a chance to be a spoiler in the BCS. But there's also the fact that this is a team they play every year, and most of these guys, they haven't beaten Houston before. I think they're really looking forward to that opportunity to not only knock off one of the top teams in the country, but also beat a team that they have to face every year.
It's a hot and humid late November Saturday afternoon, just south of downtown Houston. The 6-4 SMU Mustangs enter Robertson Stadium on the University of Houston campus amidst a raucous party atmosphere. The 70-year-old stadium is slated to be raised soon to make way for an entirely new facility. But it is not nostalgia for an aged ball field that has the sold-out crowd so pumped. Their Cougars are rolling through the season undefeated and are ranked 11th in the country. With sixth-year quarterback Case Keenum leading the charge, the Cougars are averaging 54.7 points a game. That includes a 73-17 drubbing of Tulane last week. The Houston fans are dreaming of a BCS bowl bid and want nothing more than to make the Mustangs another stop on the road to a title. But this is a different Mustang team, one that knows it can win on the road against ranked opponents.
Well, you just got to go in and play your game. I mean, we're going to blitz him, we're going to drop him, we're going to do what we do. We're not changing anything for him, and you just got to mix the looks up on him, and the kids got to make plays.
As if the challenge alone wasn't enough, the Ponies received news Thursday that their star running back Zach Line's season was over due to a torn tendon. Replacing the #1 rusher in the conference won't be easy, and the duty today falls on freshman running back number 22, Jared Williams.
We're going to run the ball with the young kid. The young kid's getting his first start. Jared, his first start in college football. What a great environment to get your first start. And we got to throw it and catch it. We'll do what we do, and we're just going to have to execute.
Many of the current Mustangs hail from the Houston area. With friends and family in attendance, they're ready to give the Cougars a fight.
I think that team's pretty serious right now. They're pretty focused. I feel good about the attitude we got going into it. And, it's a big stage and a sold-out crowd, and that's what you signed up for.
Houston gets the ball first and comes out firing.
Charles Sims at the 25 up the right sideline to the 30.
Keenum drives his team down the field using a hurry-up offense to engineer an 18-play drive. Houston converts 3 third downs on the drive, but SMU ultimately holds Houston to a field goal that puts them up 3-0. SMU gets the ball, and replacement running back Jared Williams is stopped cold by the swarming Houston defense. SMU is forced to punt. As the game progresses, the SMU defense continues to rise to the occasion, holding the vaunted and confident Houston offense to only 3 points on their next 3 drives. But the Pony offense has yet to find a rhythm. J.J. McDermott delivers long passes to Cole Beasley, but the Mustangs can't turn the yards into points. June Jones turns to his special team to make a play with a 4th and 3 and 13 minutes left in the second quarter.
40. He turns the corner and dives to the 35-yard line. First down, SMU.
for the first time all season.
Punter Matt Stone keeps the drive going, but SMU still can't score. With time running out in the first half, Houston leads 6-0. The SMU defense has risen to the occasion, stifling the Cougar attack and quieting the crowd. But Case Keenum guides his team down the field until finally they hit pay dirt.
2nd and 10, Houston at the SMU 36. Keenum with a delay handoff. Hayes up the middle, 35-30. Breaks a tackle at the 25, goes left to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Michael Hayes.
At halftime, with a score 13-0, Coach Jones knows his team still has a good chance to make their biggest statement yet.
Play with pride, play hard, out-hit them still all the way to the end of the game. Let the chips fall where they will. Offense, let's pick it up. We'll make some plays in this half, and let's take this thing. Let's take this thing.
As the third quarter commences, J.J. McDermott marches the Mustangs down the field for what could be a momentum-changing score. After 11 plays, it's 3rd and 7 on the Houston 7-yard line.
It's the short side. You hear him going wild here at Robertson Stadium. And McDermott fires it in the middle of the field, intercepted. Philip Stewart at
The pick is J.J.'s 14th of the season. Houston scores a field goal on the ensuing drive, putting the Cougars up 16-0. SMU takes the kickoff and again shows they've come to play.
He's running backwards when he catches it, and he's still going to bring it out of the end zone, coming right, and they're going to throw a lateral back to the left-hand side. This is caught at the 10-yard line. It's Bryce Lundy, 15, 20, to the 30, to the 40, and Lundy's going to be tackled at the 47-yard line. That's what...
J.J. scrambles 2 plays later.
Under pressure, steps up, he's going to have to run. Heads left to the 50, and he's hit, fumbles the football. Houston recovers it at the 45.
Houston capitalizes on the fumble on the next drive, with Keenum passing to Justin Johnson for the touchdown, making the score 23-0 Houston. As the fourth quarter winds down, the Mustangs do manage 1 touchdown, but it's not enough to overcome the Cougars. They take the win to become one of only 2 undefeated teams in the BCS. Final score, Houston 37, SMU 7.
Great job, O-line. Sucking it up. That's a great job. Show your pride right there.
When you're not a dominant team, you have to make every play you have an opportunity to make, and we're not doing that. You know, we had a couple opportunities to score touchdowns, and we miss them, and we miss a field goal. And, so the bottom line is you just got to keep at it, and hopefully we'll make those plays.
The Ponies must regroup and prepare for the final contest of the regular season, a home game with Rice. There's still much to play for. The team is already bowl eligible, but a victory would give them a 3rd straight winning season. And the Ponies want to celebrate Senior Day with a W.